I'm here with 13-year-old Sophie, and we are going to do something really cool on this ready-to-finish bench from Whitewood Furniture. Tell me about your room and the space this is going to go into.
So my room is blue now, and as I'm getting older I want it to be more mature, more me, more coastal, more, because I love to fish. I love deep sea fishing. I've done blue marlin tournaments and stuff, and I want it to be really represent what I like to do. And so I was like, I've always wanted my room to be blue, and I had this whole idea in my head about what I wanted it to be, and I was like, you know, I want pictures of fish in there, I want it to be blue, I want it to be navy blue and like coral and gray and like, I don't know, like in the bench, and I have like this great feeling about this bench, and it's gonna go next to my window, and like I can just see it in my room, and I think it's gonna be so cool.
Perfect. Well, I was thinking that we could do a really cool salt finish.
That would be really cool.
Now tell me, have you had any experience painting?
No.
None at all? Well, you're in luck because this finish is really fail-safe. We're going to put a whole lot of different paint on here, and then we're going to actually really rough it up using a palm sander. So you're going to get to learn how to use a little power tool as well. Sound pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me the colors exactly. Besides blue, what other colors are you thinking? Do you have any like highlight colors or accent colors in your room?
Coral, definitely. That's like my main accent color is coral. So like coral and like white, I feel like they definitely stand out together, and then, you know, gray, but.
Okay, cool. Well, what we're going to do first is we're going to start by giving this bench a base coat. And I really recommend that you use 2 to 3 different colors, and you want them different values. Do you know what that means?
No.
That means different lights and darks, right? Because it makes it really stunning and much more vibrant if you're actually showing great contrast between the layers of paint. So let's see. So we'll use some blue, we'll use some corals and whites, and then some gray. How's that sound?
Great.
All right, let's get started. There are those websites that will tell you you need to buy special materials to achieve a salt finish, but you really don't need to. Go to your local paint store and have them mix up some color samples for you. You're also going to need some paintbrushes, a drop cloth if you're going to be working in an area that needs to be protected, and then you're going to need some really rough sandpaper. And in fact, it will also make your job so much easier if you have a palm sander. Now, for the salt finish additive that other websites try to get you to order, all you need is baking soda and table salt. You probably have them in your kitchen cupboard. So for this finish, your painting skills don't really matter, right? Because a salt finish, what we're creating is a piece of furniture that looks like it's been left outside next to the sea for decades. Because, you know, salt air is really rough on furniture, and it causes the paint to peel away from the surface. So instead of just seeing a bare piece of wood underneath all of the things that we're going to scrape away, since your room is blue, I thought that we could give this bench a coat of blue paint to start, and then put all of the colors that are going to be peeling away, showing years of wear and tear, on top of it. So because this is going to be so roughed up, your painting skills don't really matter.
Great.
So all you have to do is grab a little bit of color and just start coating the surface. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. So we need to make the salt additive that we're going to mix with the 2 top colors of paint that we're going to apply next. And the salt additive is literally just baking soda and table salt. And you're going to need to use 2 parts of baking soda to 1 part of salt. Which means if I use 2 tablespoons of baking soda, I would use 1 tablespoon of salt. So I'm going to give you a measuring spoon, and I'm going to have you put 4 scoops of baking soda into our mixing bowl. So just reach down in there. And if it gets everywhere, don't worry about it.
You said 4?
4. Perfect. And now you're going to add your 1 part of salt, or how many tablespoons? Half as much of this, right?
2.
Right. So 2 tablespoons of salt. Perfect. Now you just want to take one of those white plastic spoons and mix your ingredients together. And this is the mixture that we're going to add to the paint to give it the salt finish. Perfect. All right, so now we can go to the mixing part. So we've poured the 2 colors that Sophie selected into these old tin cans, and we're going to add some of the salt additive to it. It's a really strange phenomenon that when we start adding the salt additive, if we get too much, the paint gets super lumpy. So if that happens, no big deal. How can we fix it?
Sand it off.
Well, yeah, and we can add more paint to the can if it gets too thick. All right, so I just want you to put 2 tablespoons, 2 big heaping spoonfuls into your can of paint, and then just start stirring it up. And I'll do the same to mine. See how you can kind of see the texture in it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if we want it a little bit thicker, I'm just going to add 1 more to mine. And once you do the same, that's good. So I have this nice textured paint that I've created simply by using baking soda and salt. Now we're ready to apply it to the surface. This finish is so great, and it is so easy to do for people with no experience, even your kids. Imagine taking a piece of unfinished furniture and creating memories by finishing this piece of furniture with your child for their own room. How cool is that? So what we're going to do now is we're going to add this textured paint to the surface of the bench. Now I'm going to keep it going kind of in this linear fashion, thinking about the way that when paint peels, it peels following the grain of wood, right? So you're going to take a brush, I'm going to take a brush, and we're just going to make some long lines, and we're going to think about painting not in making long strokes, but rather we're just going to kind of dab it on. You can kind of brush it, and it's going to get thicker as we go because some of the liquid paint. And I'm going to put some next to yours. You can put some next to mine. And we're going to keep going till we cover the entire bench. So we've let this texture finish dry for about 8 to 10 hours, and now it's ready for our top coat. The top coat is literally just painting flat, straight paint right over the surface of your texture. Ready to do it?
Yes.
So we've let this table thoroughly dry, and you can feel just how bumpy this texture is.
Really bumpy.
Right? And so what we're going to do now is we're going to sand away the surface of this table, and it's going to reveal, the sandpaper is going to catch all these big bumps and reveal all those colors that we added underneath. I'm going to show you how this palm sander works, all right? We're just going to turn it on here, and it kind of is wonky. It works in a circular fashion. I'm going to show you this area right here. We'll just kind of sweep the dust away as we go, and then I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
All right, ready to give it a shot?
Yep.
All right, so you're just going to push the button all the way forward till it clicks. Add some pressure as you go. You can do as little or as much sanding as you want, depending on how much color you want to show through, and make sure you do the entire surface of the bench, okay?
Okay.
All right. It's all yours. I recommend using a sander to knock off all the high points of the salt wash. But then, to reveal the base coat, you're going to want to use just a piece of sandpaper, 60 or 80 grit, and some good old-fashioned elbow grease. So now that we're all finished, what do you think?
It took a little effort, but it was overall pretty easy. Anybody could do it. I did it, and I don't know how to paint. So it was pretty easy. I love it. I love how it turned out, and it was so fun doing it with you.
I love it too. I can't wait to see it in your space, so make sure you share your pictures with us, and you can follow us on social media.
Hashtag Heather Teaches How.
Make sure to follow Whitewood on Facebook and Instagram. And to see a complete collection of solid, hardwood, unfinished furniture, visit whitewoodfurniture.com.